Hello, Easy Rider here, and welcome to Biker for Life. This video is going to be my review of the 2017 BMW Scrambler, R9T Scrambler. In fact, I bought it 3 weeks ago, so it's going to be kind of a little bit longer than a short-term review. But more than just review the bike, because there's a lot of videos on the web that already do that. More than a review, I'm going to kind of go into why I bought it. What it was that made this bike stand out from, the hundreds of other bikes, kind of like it, or, in the adventure class, should I say. But before I do that, let me just kind of give you a background of what I ride, why I ride, stuff like that. My main ride is a 2015 Harley-Davidson Heritage Softail Classic. Obviously that bike has nothing like a BMW Scrambler. There's nothing in common with it whatsoever. It's my main ride. It's what I, ride on the weekends, and I take it on long trips. And it's a beautiful bike, well handling. It does what it's made to do, and it does it in a very, very nice way. Love the bike. The other bike that I owned is a 2007 Buell Ulysses, and that's what this bike is replacing. And the Buell Ulysses I bought brand new in 2007 because I love the power on it. It came with a 103 horsepower engine. The handling, I don't think any bike on earth, I know someone will disagree with me, but I don't think any bike on earth handles as good as Buell's. I mean, they just phenomenal. Too bad they don't make them anymore. But anyway, I mean, it was a great bike. I bought it. It came with all the hard luggage, trunk, and I took it on long trips. I took it on weekends, and I was doing adventure riding before I even heard the term adventure riding. In fact, the first year I had it, I rode it all the way to Sturgis with my son on the back. He was 14 at the time, and camping gear, and we camped out every night and went to Sturgis and had a great old time. I mean, it was a fun bike. And I bought it for, to be a little bit more sporting, and also because it kind of billed itself as a kind of off-roady kind of bike, but it really wasn't an off-road bike. And I went down a couple dirt roads to say I did, but then after that I pretty much stayed on the road and just put road tires on it. But enough about that bike. That was the bike that this one was replacing. At the beginning of the summer, this is 2017, October right now. Beginning of the summer, my wife and I rode out to Virginia. We took Route 250 all the way from Worcester, Ohio, all the way into Virginia. And if you've ever been on a ride like that, I mean, it's like being on the Dragon for 2 days straight. It just curvy and mountains, on and on and on it went. And it was on that road. I was on the Buell, and I was like, I've had this bike for 10 years, and it was great on that road. I just said, it's time for me to upgrade. I want something different. And I started looking at a bunch of different bikes, and the ones another reason too is I want to do a lot more dirt roads and fire roads and off-roading kind of bikes. So, I immediately thought of the GS. Now, the reason I thought of the GS is like a lot of guys, I saw that flick on TV, or Netflix, should I say, with Ewan McGregor and that other Charlie guy, where they went all the way around the world on BMW motorcycles, long way around, that's the name of it, long way around. And if you have a heartbeat and ride a motorcycle, there ain't no way you're not going to want a BMW GS after watching that. But so I thought maybe I'd want a BMW GS, and get more into the adventure side of riding too. Another thing that the Buell gave me is living in northern Ohio. As soon as they put salt down on the road, that pretty much ends it for Harleys because of all the chrome on them, So I rode the Buell, in the winter months, in the early spring and late fall, when there's nice days, but there's salt on the road. You don't want to have a bike full of chrome on that. So the bike I would, want to replace it with has to be able to, ride in the winter months and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I looked at. So anyway, why did I buy the BMW Scrambler? So first off, I pretty much settled on BMW. I know there's, the Yamaha Tenerays, the Honda African Twin. There's a lot of good adventure bikes out there, but, at this stage of the game in my life, pushing 60, I got the money, I want top of the line stuff. I'm not interested in, wannabe bikes anymore. Sorry guys. But, it's top of the line for me, or I don't want to deal with it. So, that pretty much limited me to Ducati and BMW. And I seriously thought about the Ducati Scrambler, but the thing that kind of got me away from the Ducati was the dealer base. On a BMW, you can go anywhere in the world, and there's a BMW dealer, nearby. So, I wanted something that if it broke out in the middle of La La Land, I can get parts readily for it. So anyway, so it was a toss-up between buying a used GS, because I just didn't feel like blowing 24 large, on a second bike, or, the Scrambler. And a lot of people are like, oh, the Scrambler, you go online, the Scrambler's not really, for off-road. It's just a styling exercise, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think that's true, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But I test rode a GS, a used one, and it was nice. Don't get me wrong, it was nice. I thought the first gear was real tall, and I figured, on any off-roading, you'd just be seriously slipping the clutch on it. So I don't know. I'm not knocking, GSs. If someone decided to give me one today, I'd take it. But anyway, so I started looking at used ones. In the used market, for the price of a used GS, I could buy the Scrambler brand new, 2017. So, why do I want to spend, 12 grand or so on a used bike when I could spend 12 grand or so on a brand new bike? So that kind of made me want to get the Scrambler. And then I found an awesome deal in New York and Buffalo. It was a 2017 Scrambler, and it was a demo model, so I got it dirt cheap. Let's just say dirt cheap. It was a deal I couldn't pass up, so I loaded up the wife in the van. We went out there, put it in the back of the van, took it home, and man, I love it. So now what I'm gonna do now is just go around the bike and kind of explain, give you a review of the bike, what I like, what I don't like so much on it. But before I do that, I'd say a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like, whoopee, I really love it, I'm probably at about a 9.5. I really, really love this bike. It is everything I thought it would be and then some. It's just a wonderful bike. And so now I'll start the review, and we'll go around it, and I'll explain, what makes this bike, different than other bikes.